Have you ever felt like life has thrown too much your way? Like you're always caught in the crossfire and every step forward has been met with two steps back? Setbacks. Yes, setbacks have a way of making us question everything. They make us doubt our worth, they make us feel unappreciated, and sometimes they even make us feel stuck, wondering, why do I even bother? I know that feeling all too well, and I know you might be tempted to give up. I know. You're sometimes you're feeling like life is stacking and everything is against you. But lean in. Let me tell you something. Feeling down doesn't define you. It doesn't even diminish your potential. Feeling down is a natural feeling. So if you faced or are facing a setback that has shook your confidence or experiencing moments that left you wondering like, how do I get back up? This episode is for you. Today, we're going to talk about bouncing back stronger than ever before, no matter what life throws at you. So don't go nowhere because we're coming at you live and in living color to help you get through what you're going through. We'll be right back. Don't go nowhere. Welcome to Time to Win podcast, where healing and growth collide with purpose, and you get to heal, grow, and prosper. I'm your host, RJ Jackson. Join me as we take a graceful 90-degree turn from stress and struggling to purpose and prosperity. As a professional impact speaker and mindset coach, I'm here to show you the way out of secretly suffering in silence and help you get back on the path of prosperity. Because I firmly believe that you were born to prosper. So if you're ready, let's make that shift. It's time to win, my friend. So let's go fight, win. All right, so welcome and welcome back to another episode of Time to Win podcast, where we're not just going to give you information, we're going to give you inspiration that causes transformation, because we definitely want to see you shine bright like a diamond. I'm RJ Jackson, your host for today, also known as the Courage Giver, and I'm really not here to entertain you. I'm not here showing up as an impact speaker and a mindset coach, which I am, but I'm really here to be your partner on this journey of overcoming, getting back up, rising again, and making an impact. I'm happy that you're here. So thank you so much for being here, because now we get to do this thing called life together, and we get to navigate the ups and downs of life and learn how to go from scratching the surface of our potential and digging deep and making an impact on purpose. So all this month we've been talking about impact, and today we're going to continue our focus on impact and setbacks and comebacks, because here's what I know. The setback is real, but I also know, my friend, that so is your strength. And I believe, as it's been said time and time again, that setbacks are just setups for your comeback. They help you define who you are, build your character. We get to learn some lessons, forget the details, and become better people. So today, as you grab your pen and paper, I want to invite you to meet me at the table here in the locker room of life, and let's really dive in. Let's commit to change today. Let's say I'm not just going to listen for the sake of listening. I'm not listening to support RJ. I'm not listening because I'm bored. I'm listening because I want more out of life. I want to give my best. I want to be my best. I want to live the best life that God has planned for me. Let's go at this thing today that way. Okay? Like that. So, as we talk about today's topic, I want you to know it really is one that hits home and one that we've all been through. Like, would you agree we've all had setbacks. Life can really be challenging, and life's challenges can really feel like heavy weights dragging us down when we're really already down, and all we want to do is soar and be our best and live out our potential and our purpose in life. But sometimes life, as the Bible even says, will choke the life out of us. And it's natural. It's natural to feel overwhelmed, frustrated, and even defeated, especially when we hit the wall. You know what I'm talking about, right? It's like when burnout starts creeping in, or self-doubt whispers like, hey, you aren't really worth it. Trust me, you're not alone when these incidents happen. Every one of us have been there, navigating through this spiral staircase of setbacks. When we face these setbacks, it's easy to question our passion, our purpose, and our path. The emotions can really run deep. Like, the song Still Waters Run Deep? Our emotions run deep, especially with fear, anxiety, and sadness. And sometimes we really want to just retreat, like throw in the towel and say, forget this. But let me remind you again, quitters never win, and winners never quit. We can't always we can't help what happens to us, but we are responsible for how we respond to it. We can get knocked down 6 times, but we gotta be willing to get back up 7. Even if we're crawling back up, even if we're reaching our hand out for someone to help us back up, we gotta have the will and the desire to get back up. So let's pause for a moment. Here's something I want you to remember. I want you to remember that every setback is just a setup for a comeback. The key to harnessing our feelings is to learn from them and to turn them into stepping stones that take us towards our goals. It's like the donkey that was thrown in the pit, and the owner got sick and tired of him, so he's like didn't know what to do with him, and he came across this pit and it was deep, and he said, you know what, I'm just gonna throw the donkey down in the pit. And he did. He threw the donkey down in the pit, and while the donkey was down there, he just was like, okay, I'm down here, but I don't have to stay down here. And he realized that every day his master would come by so that he couldn't get out, and he would throw bricks down like to hurt him and to destroy him. But the donkey was smart, and we can learn something from the donkey. As the owner or the master threw the bricks down to hurt the donkey began to use those bricks as stepping stones. And before you know it, he had climbed out of the ditch using the very thing, the bricks, that the owner, the master, had thrown to hurt him. And that's what God wants us to do. The very thing that the enemy, that the devil throws at us to kill, steal, and destroy us, God says he's going to use that for our good. But we gotta trust him. You see, you're working hard. You're doing your best. But sometimes life just has a way of bringing us to our knees. And I'm just going to say this, while you down on your knees, just talk to the Father. Just tell God about it. It's not like he don't know, but he want to hear from you. But sometimes that's the way he gets our attention, because we're so caught up in the noise that we can't hear his voice. And he does say in his word that my sheep know my voice. And we know the voice. We just can't hear the voice because we got the music so loud. The way of what everybody else is doing so loud, right? God says, no, we got to turn that down. We got to turn that down. And then you experience this feeling of burnout. And no matter what you do, it seems like, it's just not enough. Listen, I'm only telling you what I know because I've been through it too, right? I'm not saying look at you. I'm saying this is what we do, boo. This is what we do. And I get it. Life can be incredibly hard sometimes, whether that's in our career or in our relationships. We have heartbreak or we just have personal struggles with our finances. It can be too big to handle and it can feel overwhelming. Believe me when I tell you, been there, done that. And sometimes, even though you're doing your absolute best, things are still falling apart. But here's what I want you to know. These moments don't define us. They come to refine us, to make us better if we choose not to let them make us bitter. So I'm here today, my friend, to remind you that whatever it is you might be going through right now, or you just recently came out and you just haven't quite gotten your balance yet, that it's a setback. It's not the end. It's actually a setup for your comeback. To come back stronger, wiser, and more driven and determined than ever before. But I want to remind you of this one thing. Quitters never win, and winners never quit. I'm going to say it again. Quitters never win, and winners never quit. So let me share with you some guiding principles that have helped me get through what I was going through. And I shared it with my clients, and it helped them navigate through the tough times as well. I'm believing that you will find value in it. So I'm going to ask you to get your pen and paper so you can take notes, pause it, come back to the podcast, save it for later. So you will have these on the top of your list and on your mind for the next time, or for this time if you're already currently experiencing a setback. So these principles will help you go from scratching the surface to really making an impact, because people are watching you and they want to see how you're going to respond. And when they see you believing, when they see you going forth, when they see you getting back up, it gives them hope as well. And that's how we impact other people's lives. So, are you ready? Awesome. Well, let's dive in. 3 guiding principles, and they're to help us go from scratching the surface to really making an impact by getting up and going for that comeback. And you know what I've been saying lately? This is comeback season. Like, I know people are celebrating like the Dodgers and the Lakers, and okay, I'm naming all these LA teams. Well, I'm from SoCal. What can I say? But I'm just saying, people are supporting all these teams. They're rooting for them, but they're forgetting to root for themselves. When they go home from the Dodgers game and the Dodgers won, they go back to their reality. Their life is falling apart. But they're not rooting for themselves, and they don't have other people rooting for them either. So what happens? They fall, and they cannot get back up. Like that commercial, I've fallen and I can't get back up. Well, today, my friend, if that's you, I'm on your team. I'm here to partner with you to help you get back up. Here, hold my hand. Come on, let's go. Get my hand. Come on, let's go. Let's get these guiding principles and let's get them in our heart so that we can have a fresh start. Number 1, it has to be about a mindset shift. The way you talk to yourself matters. What you say out loud or in your head matters. So it's important that one of the things you do is write down encouraging phrases in the morning or throughout the day to help you get your mindset in a position to believe so that you can receive the comeback rewards. So let me give you an example. Get up in the morning with a phrase, and try this one as an example. The phrase that says, my setback is a setup for a comeback. My setback is a setup for a comeback. Because what this does is it reminds you that what you're going through, or as they say in the song, trouble don't last always. Like there is a way of escape. You're going to get through what you're going through. This is just to make you better if you don't allow it to make you bitter. This is to make you wiser and stronger. And it's reminding you of that. So you're focusing on that versus focusing on the woe is me. Like life is so hard. Man, I can't get no break. Okay? Because if you say those things, it's going to be true. You're not going to get a break. Life is going to be hard. You have to remind yourself, this is a temporary situation. This is coming to make me stronger. My setback is a setup for the comeback. It's a mindset shift, and it keeps you encouraged on the right path. Because you could be on the right track and still get run over if you're not moving. So you got to have your mind moving in the right direction. Mindset shift, number 1. Okay, got that one? You wrote it down? Cool. Let's go to number 2. Number 2 says, we got to take action. I don't care how much we know. I don't care how inspired we are. I don't care how many times you listen to this podcast. If you are willing to do anything about what you're learning, if you're not willing to take a step of faith, if you're not willing to be brave and just put one foot in front of the other, you're going to be in the same space, dying where you're living. And you know what I say? You don't have to live where you're dying. You don't have to die where you're living. But action is required. So let's put some lights, camera, and action with our mindset so that we can get past this setback. All right? So one brave step at a time. And start small. Like, what's one thing you can do today? Maybe it's make a phone call. Maybe it's make a decision that you've been putting off. Or just take 5 minutes to organize your thoughts or your room. I don't know. What's one thing you can do to make a difference in what you're going through? To get your mind off of what you're going through, to take action. Because every action that you take, believe it or not, even if it don't seem related to what you're going through, is helping you get through what you're going through. It's helping you experience that comeback that much faster. So you got to be willing to take action. Take action. Come on, say it with me. Take action. Yes, 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 and yes, that part. You see, action sparks momentum, and momentum will carry you forward. 3 guiding principles. Number 1, mindset shift. Number 2, take action. And once you take action, you want to make it a daily practice to reflect and release. Reflect and release, meaning let go of what you can't control. Let it go. Why are you holding on to it anyway? You can't do nothing about it. When you got your hands so closed and so tight around what you can't control, you're failing to do what you can control. And all you really can control is how you feel about what's happening. And so you keep your mind on what the problem is because you're trying to fix it, trying to solve it. Listen, let me help you out with that one. It's already fixed. It's just waiting for you to line up with what's already waiting for you. You've already been declared the winner. I don't care how many times you got knocked down. You've already been declared the winner. You will rise again. You got to get your mind straight. You got to get your heart straight. You got to learn to reflect and release. Let go of what you can't control. And one way to do that is start writing down one thing that has been weighing you down. Like, take time now and write down one thing that has been weighing you down. I'd love to do this with you. Write down one thing, just one thing that's been weighing on your heart, your mind, that's been keeping you up at night. What is it? What's the one thing? You write it down. It gives you the opportunity to take a moment to acknowledge it. And once you acknowledge it, then you can release that which doesn't serve you and make space for what does. And this, my friend, is called exercising faith over fear. Because the only reason why we want to control something is because we fear what's going to happen. We can't control what happens all the time, but we control how we respond to it. Faith over fear. Faith over fear. Reflect and release. Let go of what you can't control. Acknowledge it and let it go. So release what doesn't serve you to make space for what does. 3 guiding principles. that you can start doing right now. You can pick one or you can do all three of them starting today. Commit to a mindset shift, commit to taking action, and commit to reflecting and releasing, letting go of what you can't control. Where will you start, my friend? Because you don't have to be great to start, but you got to start to be great. If you don't change what you're doing, you're going to keep doing the same thing. And if you keep doing the same thing, you're going to keep getting the same results. You're just going to keep having setback after setback without a breakthrough. And this is your breakthrough season because it is time for your comeback. It's time. So lean in. I have one more thing to tell you. You are stronger than you know. And whatever you're facing, it doesn't have the power to keep you down unless you let it. Every single step you take, every act of courage you make is a victory in itself. You are in the middle of your comeback story. And the best part, you get to write it one choice at a time. So choose today to reset your mindset, to take action, and to reflect and release. Don't allow whatever it is you're going through, this setback, to steal your joy or your sense of purpose. The road ahead is full of possibilities. Listen, you got what it takes to get back up and keep going. This is not the end, my friend. It's the beginning of something amazing. So remember, your setback is real. Your feelings are real. Life can be tough, but greater is He that's in you than what you're going through. Why is the comeback inevitable? Because God promised that in the end, you win. Your comeback may not happen overnight, but it starts with one step at a time. And this is your comeback season. You are closer to winning than you think, my friend. So let me close by reminding you what it says in 2 Corinthians 4:9. It says, we are hard pressed on every side, but we are not crushed. We are perplexed, but not in despair. Persecuted, but not abandoned. Struck down, but not destroyed. God promised He will never leave you nor forsake you. Let's go. Let's go from crash and burn to joy in the journey. I've given you the car and the keys. All you have to do is put some fuel in the tank. And let's go for the journey. Are you willing? All right. I got you. I'm right here with you. Now, my time for today has expired, even though I'm not tired. But the good thing is we get to continue to journey together. So if you're feeling like, I need more, RJ, I need more, I need accountability, I need that partnership that you're talking about, I need guidance, I got you. I just need you to reach out and touch, and I promise to reach back. You can reach me at timetowinpodcast.com. That's timetowinpodcast.com. You can also reach out to me on Instagram at Time to Win Podcast or RJ Jackson, the Courage Giver. I'm here for you, my friend. I am here to see you win. I need you to do me a favor. If today's episode spoke to you, let me know. Let's have a conversation on purpose. You can either leave a review or you can reach out through DM and connect with me on all social media platforms. And then, my friend, if it really spoke to you, know that it will speak to someone else too. Share the podcast with a friend. or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. Just go ahead and put it on your social media and send it out to your community and say, hey, you missed a good episode today with RJ Jackson, the Courage Giver, Time to Win podcast. And just in case you missed the past episode that was filled with inspiration and insights to help you navigate life's journey, then go ahead and check out our archives. And don't forget to join us next week. We'll be right here waiting for you. As a matter of fact, don't forget, we're waiting to hear from you throughout the week. Listen, I'm not tired, but my time is expired. I'm going to have to let you go. But just before I do, I really want you to know you have the power to shift your mindset, take action, and reflect and release so that you no longer have to scratch the surface of your potential, but that you can make an impact. Join us again next week. Keep striving for the impact that impacts the world around you. Bye for now. Thank you for listening to Time to Win. I recognize that you appreciate the value provided in today's episode, and for your gratitude, I'm giving you a Time to Win VIP listener badge. So head on over to timetowinpodcast.com. That's timetowinpodcast.com and claim your badge and gain immediate VIP access to more of our next level resources and opportunities, including details on the huddle, a table for 10, the Cure Circle, and the Cure Retreat. Because you've enjoyed today's session, you can also express your gratitude by rating, reviewing, and returning next week with a friend. Oh, by the way, be sure to screenshot today's episode and share it in your Instagram and Facebook story or on your favorite social media platform. We'll look forward to seeing you again next week in the locker room of life, here on Time to Win. And remember, the best time to win is now.